Oh, howdy all, grab yourselves a beer. It is time for some Path of Exile discussion. Today, I wanted to update a guide that I put out last league. Last league, I put out a guide on using fractured fossils in order to effectively duplicate the powerful Delirium orbs. And the way that you do that, at least in the last league, was just as simple as scouring a map, raising it to at least 20% quality, ideally more, whacking 5 prime Delirium orbs on a map, and then using a fractured fossil to make a copy of it. However, a couple of things have changed in the current league, and that is in the Harvest League. So what those things are is that fracturing items has returned. Now, fracturing items is something that you couldn't really do in the Synthesis League when fractured items last existed. What you can do now is targeted fracture an item. So fractured mods are mods that can't be changed by any currency items. You can see here that this Horticrafting station has the mod fracture a random prefix on an item with at least 3 prefixes. This can't be used on influenced, synthesized, or fractured items. What that can let you do is lock in a very powerful mod. You'll see here that this map, this abandoned dwelling port map, has slaying enemies close together has a 13% chance to attract monsters from beyond. That was the first thing done. So what's happened here is that a player has found a level 11 port map that they had, and they have gone and they have rolled it and kept re-rolling it until it's had the Beyond mod on it. Once they've hit that Beyond mod, they have then taken a gamble with one of the fracture crafts. Now those fracture crafts are locked behind one of the tier 3 harvest bosses. I believe it's the purple one, sorry, tier 4. I believe it's the purple one, but I'm not confident of that. It's definitely not the yellow one because I just killed the yellow one and it's the synthesized one. I think that the blue one is the influence mods and the purple one is the fracture craft. Anyway, then it's a case of RNG in order to lock Beyond on. Now what happens is no matter what you do to this map, let's actually demonstrate by crafting it a little bit. Let's start by scouring it. Oh look, it's still got the Beyond mod. Let's hit it with a Regal Orb because you can use Regal Orbs on a magic item. Oh look, now it still has the Beyond mod and it's got other things. That's your first starting point. Once you've got Beyond or some other premium mod locked onto the item, the other premium mods you might consider, so there's Beyond is generally considered the best. The second best in my opinion, or actually possibly the best, is the mod that is exclusive to Bloodstained Fossils. Bloodstained Fossils are usually really rare and expensive. This league they're quite common and cheap. Well, they're still rare, but they're quite cheap. These have a mod that grants 20% item quantity, 10% pack size, and also causes monster drops in the map to have a 10% chance to be corrupted, as Exile orb had been used on them. Sometimes that'll ruin an item, like if you have a map drop and it's scoured and then it gets corrupted, that's bad. But overall, it's a net positive. So you want to the other mods you might consider locking on are Bloodlines, as you'll see here on Hate Remnant Vile Temple map. Has 30% more magic monsters, and magic monster packs have a Bloodline mod locked onto it. And this also has that Vile mod I was talking about from the Bloodstained Fossils. So you see the very first mod on it. Prefix modifier Subterranean. Found items have a 10% chance to drop corrupted in area. Area is inhabited by the Vile. And that also has, as I say, has 10% pack size, 20% quantity. And you might also consider the Nemesis version. Then the next thing you want to do is get an enchant on it. So this one, Cursed Remnant and Death Roost both have does not consume sextant uses. This is the rarest of the enchants, and these are sourced through Harvest Crafting. So there is a tier 2 seed in the yellow section that gives you a tier 2 seed. It's not this one, it's the Nestback Brain, which reveals a random map enchantment when harvested. The one that you want does not consume sextant uses in general. However, just for meme values, with this Vile Temple, I have gone with map bosses surrounded by tormented spirits because why not? And I've got a friend who's currently running these and has made a very serious attempt at killing the bosses of the Vile Temple map with the tormented spirits effect and 100% delirious, and they got slaughtered by it. The next thing that you do after that is use the Betrayal system to raise the map's quality to 35%. This is important because normally you wouldn't bother doing that on a map. It requires getting Hillock into the Intervention Wing, raising him to 3-star General, And ideally you put him in as the leader, but you don't need to do that. You get one use of the crafting bench to raise one map to 35 quality. If Hillock is not the leader of the thing, but is tier 3, and if he is the leader, then you'll get 2 uses of the bench. And that's how I raised both of these 2 maps I own, and this map is someone else's. The next thing after you've done that is the last step, which is to fill out the map. With 5 Delirium orbs. So you could use Foreboding Delirium orbs if you wanted to have Harbinger rewards. You could use Scarab. You could use the Skittering Delirium orbs, which are the best ones, if you're looking to have Scarabs drop in there. Or alternately, you could use the Breach ones, which will give you lots and lots of normal Chaeola Breach stones, and potentially some upgraded other Breach stones as well. And the person that I borrowed this map from, they've just run a copy of one of their port maps, and they came out of it with something like 12 full Breach stones, one of which was Chaeola, a couple of, I think there was a Tull's Pure Breach stone, and then a bunch of lesser ones like Ulnatol's Charged and the like. So, the reason that you're doing this is because those Delirium orbs are so expensive that rather than run these maps as they currently are, we're going to use Fractured Fossils to effectively duplicate them. So with a Fractured Fossil, it's not a Mirror of Kalandra, no matter what some people might think. What it does is, firstly, the Resonator scrambles the mods on the item. Then after that, it creates a mirrored copy. So the mods that are on it currently don't matter. The mods that will be on the final product after the Resonator has modified the mods will then be what you get a copy of. I'm also using 2 other fossils here. So firstly, I'm going to use a Corroded Fossil. Corroded Fossils are there because they have the line no elemental modifiers. That means that a map that is rolled with a Corroded Fossil cannot roll Elemental Reflect. It can still roll Physical Reflect, and if you're playing a build that deals pure physical damage, you're going to want to get rid of this Corroded Fossil, and instead you're going to want to use a Prismatic Fossil. No, sorry, not a Prismatic Fossil, a Metallic Fossil, which increases the number of lightning mods and makes it impossible for physical mods to roll. If, on the other hand, you're playing a Chaos Damage build or something like that, you may just not care about any Reflect mods, and in that case, you don't need to put in this Resonator. You can use a 2-socket Resonator instead. Next up is the expensive one, the Fractured Fossil. I just bought both of these for 275 Chaos Orbs each, so these maps that we're making are going to be expensive. And the third one is a Bloodstained Fossil. Now, normally Bloodstained Fossils have been, because they're as rare as Fractured Fossils, they've been very expensive in the past. In this league, that is not the case at all. I recently bought over 100 of them, and I paid 9 Chaos for most of them. These are ridiculously good on maps, and that's because they guarantee one mod, and that mod is that Val mod that we pointed out on this Val Temple, that comes with 20% pack size and 20% quantity, 10% pack size, and also has this population modifier. Area is inhabited by the Val. So we're going to be using a Bloodstained Fossil in each of these. And then we can choose to duplicate any of these bases. So have a look. Cursed Remnant here is a magic map with 2 mods. It has Bloodlines and it has Beyond. We're going to hit it with this, and now it's become Bleak Roost, which is a 4-mod map with. It still has Beyond because Beyond is fractured on. It can't change, and it has the Subterranean mod plus the Anti-Curse mod, and the player chance to dodge is unlucky. So pretty easy for a high investment map, or for an ultra high investment map. The mods on that are really easy. And additionally, it's still got a pretty high pack size, and that's because we've used a Bloodstained Fossil. You would not be able to get 24% on a 4-mod map normally. No, you could, but you're very unlikely to do so otherwise. And just for fun, we're going to duplicate the Val Temple this time. So Hate Remnant was a 6-mod map, which is why it's got 35% pack size. Now it's dropped to 25%, but it's still got lots and lots of stuff on it. We've got Bloodlines locked in because Bloodlines can't be removed. Very important thing, make sure that you find the ones that are mirrored. They're the ones you want to run. These bases don't ever get put in the map device. These get carefully stored away in your stash, and I put them in my fossil tab. You may wish to do something else with yours, and then I will give this one back to its owner, who is currently running another map. But that's how you can amp up Fractured Fossils over what was possible last league. So in last league, you couldn't fracture a mod. So you were always entirely on the basis of RNG as to which mods you got. Whereas this time, you can guarantee that you're going to get Nemesis, you can guarantee you're going to get Bloodlines, you can guarantee that you're going to get Beyond. You can only guarantee one of them, but you can guarantee it. And additionally, you have the ridiculously powerful does not consume sextant uses, which is funny. That enchant doesn't seem all that powerful on its own, but the reason that it is brokenly powerful, not just powerful, but brokenly so, is because of this modifier. Nemesis monsters drop 3 additional currency items. This sextant modifier is absolutely ridiculous. What it does is it means that in conjunction with Zana's Nemesis mod, every single rare monster in that zone will drop 3 currency items. Those will be Chaos Orbs quite frequently, but also you will get Exalts, Divines frequently enough to matter. It's really, really, really powerful. So that's the basics of ultra high investment mapping in the Harvest League as it is now. If you've got any comments or questions, fire away below. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you have a good one.